How about your Browns? The Rizzo Show starts now.
Yeah. The Hard Rock Rocksino Northfield Park presents The Rizzo Show. And now your host, Tony Rizzo, with co-host Mike Polk Jr.
Hey, yeah, look, everybody's happy here on set. Folks, welcome to the Victory Sunday edition of The Rizzo Show. Michael, can you believe it? The Browns won a road game today.
Do you feel a little bit right now, like you saw the Browns had a hard time closing it out in the second half a little bit, just because they haven't been in this position. They don't know how to close these games out when they're up big. And do you feel a little bit like that hosting this show, like where we're talking about a winning, good football team right now,
yeah.
And it's a really hard adjustment to make. And frankly, I'm a little bit intimidated.
I wasn't worried at the end. Oh,
no?
Actually, I was.
A little bit?
I was texting you.
Yeah,
you know
I
I was.
Yeah.
Folks, I got to tell you, I think we may have found ourselves a franchise quarterback.
Looking that way.
Baker Mayfield. How about it today? Michael cannot believe how great Baker looks under new offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens, and today basically put on a show. Folks, the second half is meaningless because once the Browns got up 35-7, all they were doing was trying to chop out clock.
Right.
The throws I thought he made today, Michael, the play calling, it's all symmetry. It's something we haven't seen in Cleveland for years.
How much of this do we credit Freddie Kitchens with, and how much of this is addition by subtraction? And I know we're going to talk about you.
Who are you talking about?
Obviously, but do you really think Kitchens is making that much of a difference, or do you think that the bridle is off Baker?
No, I think Freddie is a young offensive mind, great offensive mind. He studied under Bruce Arians. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that's worked really hard to get to where he is. But you got to understand, whenever I ask the players or the players talk, they say communication is the key, which means Freddie actually went to Baker and said, what plays do you like?
Right.
And what plays? Folks, that didn't happen when Hugh Jackson was in charge of the offense, even after Hugh gave over the play calling, Todd Haley, that didn't happen. You would think that they would say they're designing the offense around Baker Mayfield, and it's working.
It seems like such a common sense thing. And I mean, I know that we're all good. Everyone's jumping on Hugh on Twitter. Everybody's, and rightfully so. But my question is, how did this fly under the radar for so long? Why did it take this long if it was that obvious and all the players dislike him?
Well, wait a minute, 1-31? It really didn't fly under the radar.
Well, I mean, why was he allowed to stick around and keep doing this to us, even though he clearly did not have that team? I mean, you saw this team? You saw this team today reacting when they would see Hugh. That's not the look of a guy who has been coaching you for 2 years. There was no respect there and no love whatsoever.
I think also, Michael, we may have found a franchise running back.
I think you might be right about that.
How about Nick Chubb? I know he didn't have a ton of yards, but he got key yards when he had to. He's got a nose for the end zone. He is the Browns' workload. He carried the ball almost 30 times in this game. And I think the Browns now, with a good running game and a franchise-type quarterback, Baker's still a rookie. He'll make mistakes. But they have found their identity on offense. And here's the best part. And you watch the Browns run the football here with Chubb. This is just a great catch.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's a circus catch right there.
That'll be one of the best of the year.
Yeah, and that'll be top 10 plays all week long. But I love the way the Browns were more physical than the Bengals today.
Absolutely.
When have we been able to say that?
How about when you see Browns standing up to Burfict when he tries to mouth off like usual, and I'm like, oh, he's going to murder him again. These guys aren't backing down. They actually have an attitude, and I think it starts with Baker, and probably Greg Williams deserves some of that too.
I thought the defense played well in the first half. I know in the second half it looked like, and especially with a quarterback who came in off the bench at Driscoll, I know they probably looked like the Browns' D was wearing down. They were on the field a lot, but I give them a lot of credit. They played well in the first half. They kept the lead. I didn't like the touchdown at the end of the first half, but I'm not going to complain. In today's NFL, you hold a team like the Bengals to 7 points, that's phenomenal.
Sure, and really one of the only weaknesses was special teams. They had some bad tackling on some of those returns, but defense looked good. Offense looked really good. And you said something. You've said we might have our franchise quarterback. We might have our franchise running back. I think what you have to say there too is we might have our franchise GM because he drafted both these. These are rookies. Yeah. They're just going to get better. That's what's exciting.
Denzel Ward played well again today, and right now John Dorsey is the king of Berea. There's no doubt about it. And he deserves to be. Well, you mentioned Hugh Jackson. Michael, I got to say, I thought it was just a bad look for Hugh today. He was, I guess, pregame going around hugging everybody. You just got fired from a job, and then during the game, this happened. after an interception by Demarius Randall. He went out of bounds, and lo and behold, he happened to look. There was Hugh Jackson. He looked at him. He handled the ball. Hugh took the ball and patted him on the...
that was
like
such a
Hugh
sad
didn't even
move.
know he was getting dissed.
No, he's like, oh, one of my friends is coming over to say hi. He just didn't get it. I know, and that's just there's a larger issue there. That is a disconnect that, again, I can't believe that no one noticed for his tenure here, that nobody else, because obviously they don't respect this guy.
No, and then there was another little awkward exchange after the game. Watch this carefully. Baker and Hugh. Hugh comes over to grab Baker.
Look how thirsty
wants to
he is.
give him a big hug. He just shook his hand and walked away. And some people said, wow, you look like you gave Hugh the cold shoulder. And here's what Baker Mayfield said after the game. He said, look, here's a guy who told us, come with me. I got your back. I'm in this with you all the way. And then 2 weeks later, he goes to our division rival, and we're playing him. He goes, I wanted to beat him. That's just me. That's my take. I love that about Baker Mayfield.
Absolutely. He shook his hand with the same warmth that I shake the hand of, like, my sister's brother-in-law, like my brother-in-law at Christmas, where I'm just like, hey, you good?
I hope he doesn't watch.
I'm glad he doesn't.
Watch
no, he doesn't care for me. But yeah, there is not a lot of warmth there, not a lot of love lost.
Well, after the game, the Browns hail to the victors as they talk.
Coming out of a bye week, sometimes there's a little bit of slip up there, and we had good weeks of practice on those things and the penalty things. But we had a couple of things that's not characteristic of how we've been lately. We've got to do a better job with that. But I thought our guys fought hard. I thought they played hard and made some timely plays.
We spread them out a little bit more today, so we'll see what we can do with that package. You know, we're doing a lot of different things, and we're doing it well. We got to be able to run the ball better. But as long as we're able to spread them out and do that, that's something we can grow.
Now, I know the Browns didn't look great in the fourth quarter,
okay?
And I did get a little nervous, but they still won by 15.
Right.
I'll give them credit. Well, you know, I know they took their foot off the gas, but remember, we don't know how to play with them.
We have no idea how to play with a lead.
Say it, tell them.
We just don't. I mean, and you wouldn't see that sort of incompetence in the fourth quarter coming out of a team that's been winning consistently for a long time. But we just don't know how to close these things out, and we don't still think it's real, I think.
Yeah, and I know that, you know, being a player, even 100 years ago when I played, when you're up 35-7, you got to think to yourself, all right, this game, they're not going to score 40 points and win this game. They took their foot off the gas. By the way, Baker said after the game, too, he didn't like that. He would have liked they kept his foot on the pedal. I think Baker could have thrown for 6 or 7 touchdowns and about 500 yards today if the Browns went full on in the second half.
I am glad they did that, though. I'm glad they ran the ball. That was the responsible thing to do. It didn't work out exactly like they had wanted it to, but I think that's the move at that point. And how great has this running game been, too? And, I mean, that's moving forward with a young quarterback. How helpful is that to him?
All right, let's take a look at the rest of the season, Michael. I'm going to ask you, all right, you tell me. Tough game coming up Sunday, but the Browns are going to be. Folks, what you don't realize is I understand the Texans are good, and I love Deshaun Watson. I wanted us to draft him. But Baker's good, too.
Yeah.
The Browns are going to be able to score with just about anybody, which means they're going to be in every game. Michael, could you see the Browns winning 4 of the last 5 and being in the playoff picture?
After watching these last 2 games, and here's what I love, that the Browns have gotten back to the point where it's an any given Sunday situation again. We used to look at the schedule and know for sure we're going to lose that game. We're going to lose that game.
Are we better than the Bengals?
We're always right.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Panthers lost at home today.
We probably won't win Denver.
The Ravens, I mean, they're no world beaters.
No, not at all.
Denver's not a great team, certainly. No. I think that the Browns are going to be in this thing right now, folks. If you look up playoff picture on the internet for the AFC. The Browns, although we're last, are in the conversation.
With 5 games left in the season, when was the last time we got to say that? I have no idea. Think about it. I mean,
2014, 2007?
2007.
Honestly, the last time you were good was 2007.
Yeah, that was the last time.
I know we were 7-4.
And even that was a fluke and felt like kind of dirty, like we had. I don't know. It felt like it felt like we had hired a prostitute or something like that. Where technically, you know, we had sex, but it didn't count.
Coming up, we're taking a spin around the wide, wide world of sports. What happened to the Wolverines, Michael? Cavaliers are the hottest team in the NBA.
2 in a row.
Stay with us. Welcome back to Victory Sunday. Wow, does it feel good? Don't you feel like the rest of the league kind of feels Because
it must be what it's like.
We didn't feel that way for a
No,
long
and doesn't this make watching football like tonight and tomorrow so much better?
Yeah, I watch all the highlight shows
yeah, it's
over
gonna be great.
and over.
We don't have to hide
over.
from it for the week. That's so great.
All right, let's take a spin, Michael, around the wide world of sports. And we start with the Buckeyes.
I heard of them.
Unbelievable. They laid a licking on the Wolverines, who were favored in Columbus. Statement game for the Bucks in Urban Meyer. Michael, do they belong in the playoffs if they beat Northwestern Saturday for the Big Ten title?
Who knows? I mean, you only have 4 spots. Here's the thing. Last week we would have been assuming Michigan was going to be in there. Turns out that team wasn't as good as we thought they were. That's why this system is flawed.
Wow, that's going to be tough to wash off. And I think they've got a shot. And I think Jim Harbaugh's got, I don't know what's going on up in Ann Arbor right now, but they can't be happy. Well, he's lost 4 in a row to them.
4 in a row.
And the Buckeyes have won 10 of the last 11 against Michigan. All right, let's go. Next one. Here we go.
Spin that bad boy.
Spin it.
Come on, baby.
Oh, did you watch
No.
Tiger versus Phil? Phil Mickelson won $9 million. Did you watch? Do you care?
No, not in any way.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
You know I'm a big golf fan.
I know you are.
I didn't watch this.
That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't watch it. And can I say this? Can they donate some of that money to charity? What do I want to watch? A bunch of rich guys getting
make
richer?
more money.
I mean,
but you got to pay to watch it happen. That's the other thing that I don't understand. No, I have uncles who are crazy about golf, and of course over Thanksgiving they're talking about it, and they aren't even watching this. And I'm just like, you guys gonna watch your little guys run around? Nope, they're not paying for that.
I forgot it was even on.
Yeah.
I'll watch it when it's free. I guess.
What if that were 10 years ago? That might be. That'd be
great point.
You know?
Great point. All right, here we go. Another spin. Give me another spin, John. John Ackerman behind the scenes today.
Killing it.
Mad skills. Kyrie is good at things like this.
Yes.
Watch what he's doing.
I've seen it.
He's standing on basketballs.
Yep.
He's dribbling basketballs. Problem is, they're not winning in Boston, Michael.
No, and tell me this: if you're like Boston's trainer and you're watching this guy who's got like glass ankles doing this nonsense, I'd be like, could you shoot free throws instead, maybe?
Remember when he broke a kneecap in the finals?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have
it. No, get off the basketballs, Kyrie. That's what I would tell him. What are you proving?
Win some games. When we return, kids, don't go anywhere. It's time to eat, Michael. We're heading out to Sammy's.
I love Sammy's.
In Parma. Stick around, more Rizzo Show next. All right. Are you still full from Thanksgiving?
We were just talking about it. We were at my folks in Westlake. That's a smaller condo. We had like 25 people in there, to the point where you had to take turns getting up to eat. And then you'd go into the garage and smoke cigarettes and talk trash on whoever was still inside. Like, you see that guy?
Oh, just like everybody else's Thanksgiving.
It was great.
Time now to head out to Parma. We're going to Sammy's at the corner of Pleasant Valley and York Road. Check it out. Folks, it's always sunny in Parma. We're at the corner of Pleasant Valley and Broadview Roads. I've got a guy who was a blackjack dealer at the Jack Casino. He doubled down on his lifelong dream to open a restaurant. Welcome to Sammy's. And here he is, folks, my cousin, Sammy, Mike Wajim, right here in Parma. Sammy, I was telling everybody, this was a dream of yours your whole life, was to open your own restaurant.
Since I was a little kid, family growing up, everybody cooked in the house. Grandma, Grandpa, Angie, my mother, called Nana now. My uncle had a restaurant, Marty's on Ridge.
Sure.
That's where I started. Just a passion of mine. I love to cook.
And it shows in what you make. What's the menu like? It's got to be a lot of Italian.
There's a lot of Italian, but I don't want to be classified solely as an Italian restaurant. We have pierogies, skinless kibasi, onions. What we do, we saute, caramelize the onions. We get our pierogies.
Homemade.
Homemade.
Well, you got to have pierogies if you're in Parma.
Absolutely.
Look at that. Oh, that sausage looks
saute
good.
this a little bit, and we add our own little touch. Pierogies and cream, we call it. It's an appetizer on the menu.
Nice.
I'm gonna make you our veal dish with crabs, our crab stuffing, melted provolone, and cremini mushrooms, sweet Marsala cream sauce. On top, garlic green beans.
You finish up, I'm gonna go get seated.
You got it, Riz.
Then we're gonna eat. While Sammy's slaving over Hot Kitchen, folks, I'm having what we call Nana's wedding soup here. It's a 60-year-old recipe. still really good.
This is a grill master, Angelo. He's a Spatzel King of Parma.
Time for the money shot. This is where we get to eat. Sammy, I'm sorry I already had the wedding soup.
Oh,
Tell
no
everybody
problem,
whose
Riz.
wedding soup that is.
Nanas. My mom comes in and makes it every morning, fresh.
How about that? All right, and what do we have in here again?
We have veal, our crab stuffing, provolone cheese, and Marcella mushrooms and a cream sauce with cremini mushrooms.
Oh my God. That is so good. You know how hard it is to get good veal in this town? Not in this town, in any town. That's a homemade recipe?
That's a homemade recipe.
And what do we got here?
This is our linguine with marinara, homemade meatballs.
Oh yeah.
Just came out of the oven.
What do I tell you? It's all about the meatballs. Look, if you want homemade, handmade Italian food, we're in Parma, corner of Pleasant Valley and York Road. Please come see my cuisine over here. Sammy Messina. Sammy, congratulations.
Thank
you know
you,
our
Riz.
family. We're so
Appreciate
very
it.
proud of you. God bless, buddy. Now, we're gonna eat.
Manja.
By the way, I said in the start of that Broadview, it's York and Pleasant Valley, and the meatballs are to die for. All right, don't go anywhere, but first, let's see what's happening at the Roxino.
It's your last chance to win a $5,000 shopping spree or your share of $7,500 free play this Friday during Hard Rock Roxino Northfield Park's Back in Black Friday's drawings. Play with your Rockstar Rewards card to earn entries every day and earn 5 times the entries every Thursday. It's your last chance to win this Friday with hourly drawings from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Try the amazing new Smokehouse menu at Hard Rock Cafe featuring all your favorite barbecue entrees, smoked for hours in our very own smokers. You won't be disappointed. The season's best holiday shows are coming to the Roxino, including Brian Wilson's Christmas album live, Jewel's Handmade Christmas, Kenny G, The Miracles, Holiday and Hits, and more. Find your rhythm at the Hard Rock Roxino Northfield Park, proud entertainment partner of the Cleveland Indians.
That's Mike Polk shredding, ladies and gentlemen, on the guitar
Because
right there.
you deserve it.
Mm-hmm. You're a better guitar player than you admit.
Oh, now that's true. It is.
Don't forget, now, Fox Game Day coming up, okay, at 11:30. And then, of course,
Always a
our
good
good
time.
friends, Big Chuck and Little John. And I love watching all the highlight shows when we win.
Yeah.
When we lose, I tend not to watch them. Speaking of winning, how about your Cavaliers, Michael?
Right.
Do you think maybe they're finding a little something? Because I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
I want one of those kids from Duke.
I know you
and
do.
now they've won 2 in a row, and Colin Sexton's actually playing pretty well.
He's looking good. I wouldn't worry too much, Tony. I watched both of those games. And I'm telling you, of course it's nice.
You sound as if that was a
No, it was great.
You
It was
were
great.
paying.
And you want them to get this confidence. Colin Sexton is looking good. I feel like he is on this team like Anthony Wiggins was on who did he play for? Minnesota, where there's nobody else. So he just gets to shine and do whatever the hell he wants, and he's getting the experience. So that's cool.
Like Kevin Love when he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yes, but
when is he coming back?
this
By the way,
team, not
his
for like
bobblehead
months.
is tomorrow night or
Is
tonight.
it really?
Tonight, tomorrow night.
Does it have a little knee brace
I don't
on
know,
it?
but his bobblehead's
Like
here
a
and he's
cast?
not.
Yeah.
All right, the Indians revealed new uniforms for this year. Now, you know we're not going to have the Wahoo on there this year.
Sure.
Although you could still get that at the team shop.
I
if
know you
wanted
can. Boy,
it.
we really cut ties with that, didn't we?
What do you make of the red with the All-Star logo with the guitar? Do you like the red?
I'm fine with it. It reminds me of those 70s ones that were people either loved them
You
or hated
mean
them.
those?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well done.
Dennis Eckersley.
The Eck. I'm digging those, though.
All right, no red pants. No, can I say this?
It's a bit
Those
much.
look like softball pants. Man.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what? As a major league ball player, even as a minor leaguer, the one thing you don't want to look like is a guy wearing softball
And
pants.
just remember that the manager has to wear those too, which is even more hilarious because
I actually like the Block C, okay? I'm a big fan of the Block C. I know a lot of the old-timers like Chief Wahoo.
Right.
I do too, but I like the Block C. I really do.
I think it's a good
And
compromise.
the Indians across the front, you know, they went politically correct. Some people say there was a little deal worked out. If we did that, we'd get the All-Star game.
Hey, the All-Star game's here. Notice that? So, boom. You're welcome.
Browns hit the road once again next week to take on J.J. Watt and the Houston Texans. That'll be a tough game, but I expect them to be in these games. Michael, where are you going to be in the future?
Well, you can
plug-o-rama time, kids.
You want to go to get all those fun holiday dates. Go to MikePolkJr.com. I'm doing the Home for the Holiday show at Pickwick and Frolic. Still got the Tuesday show going on every Tuesday at Pickwick.
Nice.
And we're doing a Christmas sketch show 3 nights at different places around town. So
you're not playing God for Christmas?
No, I'm done with that. That's covered. But thanks for checking that out too.
Thank you for joining us. Good to be alive. Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks. Browns win!